Hello, my name is Molly from the CMSNet Help Desk. Today, I'm doing a webinar on application letter series and non-series. There are several parts to this webinar. The first part is I'm going to show you how to create an application letter directly from the correspondence module. Part 2, I'm going to show you how to create an application letter after reopening or creating a new case from registration. Part 3, I will show you how to update the application status if you received a signed application or if you want to stop the tickler and do no action from registration module. I will also show you another way to update the status via the correspondence module as part 4. Part 5, I will show you how to start a new cycle or switch to a different letter type if necessary. Let's get started. Here, I have my client already selected. In registration, I just registered this client. Now I want to start an application series for my client. To do an application series from correspondence module, you would enter the case number as I did here, which would select your client. Next step, create letter. Once you get to the correspondence, create correspondence page. From the category drop-down, select application letter series and non-series. Then the system will enable the correspondence letter type. Here, I'm logged in as a Sacramento CCS user. I have the different CCS application, both series and non-series. For this example, I'm going to go ahead and do a C36M. Once selected, the case, the system will auto-display the primary address C. If you look in this attachment area, with my C36M, if I need to send a PSA, I will go ahead and check PSA as the attachment. If I need additional letter attachments, such as a C36M, I can select that as well. But in this example, I'm only going to do a PSA. Once I select my attachment, I'm going to go ahead and do Save and Print. And this is my letter template. I just want to also point out one thing. Since this is a brand new client and I have not established program eligibility in Legacy yet, I did not start a program, I didn't create a program period for my client. Therefore, when I selected the PSA as an attachment, the system did not auto-display any dates, and that's because I have not established any program dates yet. If I were to go into Legacy and establish a program period, and then create an application letter with the PSA attached, the system will display the program dates. I just wanted to explain that. Part 2, I'm going to show you how to create an application letter after reopening a case or creating a new client from registration. Enter the client, click Edit Patient. Here I have a not open case. I'm going to go ahead and put it to pending status. Upon saving, the system is going to ask a message. Do you want to generate an application status series on a successful save? If I click No or Cancel, the system will retain me in the screen. It will not navigate me anywhere. It'll just keep me in the patient information screen. If I select Yes, what the system is going to do is navigate me to the correspondence module and allow me to generate an application letter. So for this example, I'm going to go ahead and click Yes. As you can see, the system took me to the correspondence, Create Correspondence screen with the category already selected. All I need to do now is select a letter type. So for this example, I'm going to do a C36. I'm not going to attach anything, and I'm going to do Save and Print. And that's how to generate an application letter. First part, I showed you to come directly to correspondence and do the letter there. Part 2 was to show you that from registration, we also give you the opportunity to quickly navigate to the correspondence to generate the letter, if you wish. And this is the template. Part 3 is how to update application status as sign app or no action from registration. I have an example here. I have to log in as myself, actually. My previous user was Sacramento. Therefore, here, I'm going to go to registration. I'm going to use a test client that is actually in San Diego. For you, you would log in as yourself, enter the client, select the client, and click Edit Patient. The system will land you into the patient information screen. To update the application status, go to Additional Information tab. Here, the system has a section. The application status is available in the Additional Info tab. In this section, you have the application status. You can either choose Sign App or No Action. If you do a Sign App, the system is going to allow you to enter the date you received the application, or the date this application was signed. If you do no action, the system is going to allow you to select a no action reason. To undo, put it back to select. So in this example, I'm going to pretend we received the application. So I'm going to go ahead and do application, sign, and enter the date. You may enter in comment as necessary and click Save. And this is how to update the application status from the Additional Information tab. And like I said earlier, if you make a mistake, let's say, for example, you enter the information in the wrong client's case, you can just simply put it back to select and save. I also forgot to mention that when you do update the application status, the moment you save, the system will auto-generate a case note with the status, the reason, or if it was sign app, it'll display a case note with the date sign and any comments you entered on the case note. Okay? Now part 4, I said I will show you how to also update application status as sign or no action from correspondence module. So let's go ahead and go do that. So we're going to go to the correspondence module. What we're going to do is we're going to search for the letter. So I have my client selected here. I'm going to go ahead and search for the letter. I have here my application letter, my first letter in series. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of the screen, and here we have the application letter status section. Here, same as in registration, in the Additional Information tab, I can either do sign app or no action. One of the new changes we added also to series letter is the next letter due date. If you're viewing a series letter and the tickler is in the future, where the letter will be set to ready to send, it will display the next letter due date here. And the next letter type that's going to be generated will also be displayed here. So in this example, if we were to go back, Daisy has created the letter April 17, 2014. Therefore, the next letter is going to be generated 5/7/2014, and this is the next letter type. Once I update the status and save, if you were to scroll back down, that information is wiped out. Let's say you make a mistake. You put the sign up in the wrong client again. Simply put it back to select and save. If you scroll down, if you notice, the tickler is back. So that's the ability. So that is also how to undo. So I showed you how to enter the application status in part 4. I also included there another scenario if you make a mistake on how to undo. So part 5, I'm going to show you how to start a new cycle or switch to a different letter type if necessary. You would probably use this example if you, for the scenario of, say, for example, you did a C36, and then later on you realized if you were supposed to send a C36M. You would come and do the following steps. So here, I'm back as my Sacramento user. I'm not sure if I have any letter existing for this client. Yes, I do. So here, I have the C36 already generated. I'm going to go ahead and click on it just to show you that it's still an active series. The next letter is going to be generated 5/12/2014. Therefore, if I went and click on Create Letter, selected Application Letter, select any of these options, the system is going to pop up with a message that says starting a new cycle will cancel existing cycle letters. Do you want to start a new cycle? If I click OK, the system will cancel my previous series, my previous active series, and allow me to continue with this new series. If I click Cancel, the system will not do anything. It will just take me back out of the application, of the Create Correspondence screen. So for this, I'm going to do Cancel. The system took me out. Now, if I do decide that I do want to start a new cycle, I will go in here, same steps, select any of my letter types that I need to, and say OK. Once I do save and print, the system gives me my new letter. Now if I close this out, go search for my letter, as you notice, the system canceled out my previous active series and replaced it with my new sent letter. Now if the letter, for example, this record right here, this client, if I scroll down, if you notice, there's no application status. If I did enter an application status here, basically if the client had a status, and if I wanted to create a new cycle, I'm actually logged in as myself so you can see more options, CCS and GHP. So if I do another letter, the system's not going to pop up with that message. So that message is going to pop up based on whether the application series still has a tickler or not. If you enter it in a status, then obviously there is no tickler, and therefore the system is going to allow you to start a new cycle at any time. I believe I went over all the scenarios. So to summarize, I showed you how to create an application letter from correspondence module, how to create an application letter while the case is being reopened, and also when you create a new client, you will get the option to generate an application letter from registration. You can choose to say yes, it'll navigate you to the correspondence module, or say no, it will retain you in the screen. Part 3, I showed you how to enter the application status via registration module in the additional info tab. As well as part 4, I showed you how to also update the status directly from the view correspondence. I also showed you how to start a new cycle if necessary, depending on whether there is no application status. Then obviously the system will come up with a message if you want to cancel the previous existing series, or if there was an application status on the application that was already sent, then when you try to create another letter, the system will not ask if you want to start a new series. Thank you for listening to and watching this webinar. This is Molly from the CMSNet Help Desk.